Hi! One of the most common questions I get when people meet me on streets is where do I even start with English? Today, I want to give you my absolute honest advice. No complicated theories, just the simple fundamental truth, the way a primary teacher would explain to a student. That's how this video is going to be. These are the things you absolutely have to do, and just as importantly, what you need to stop doing to be fluent in English. Now, one most major mistake, that is point number one of this video, is that a lot of you are dependent on others for your learning. Now, what happens is that as human beings, we tend to rely on others too much because somewhere we are in our comfort zones. Of course, I understand it's difficult to get out of it. It's very comfortable in the comfort zone, but I feel that if you're clinging on to your comfort zone for really long, it gets very uncomfortable, and the feelings that you get that there is something on your mind you want to achieve, there's something that you want to do, you do not know why you're not taking the next step. You do not know what is stopping you. It's very frustrating. People call it the comfort zone, but I find it absolutely frustrating. For me, my comfort zone is very frustrating after a very small period of time. I don't have to spend days in it to get out of it. What I feel is that you tend to rely on motivation to make action, but it's supposed to be the other way around. When you take action, you get motivated. And it is true. It is the honest, absolute truthful advice that I can give you. Do not depend on motivation, rather depend on action. When you take the first step, that is when you get motivated and automatically it happens to you. What you have to do is you have to take ownership of your learning journey. This means actively seeking out opportunities to learn, not just passively waiting for them to happen to you, to occur to you. Think of it this way. Your teacher, your app, or even me, we are like a GPS system, okay? We can show you the map, we can tell you the best route, and we can even warn you about the traffic ahead. But we cannot drive the car for you. You have to be the one behind the wheel. You have to be the one who takes action. Your guides can point you to the mountain, but only you can take the steps to climb it. So stop being a passenger in your own journey. Take the driver's seat and do it today. Do not make stupid excuses to yourself that this happened and because of that I could not practice today. See, something or the other will always keep happening. If you recall, something must have happened to you today that was maybe out of the ordinary, or maybe yesterday. Something or the other will always try and push you into your comfort zone, because that's how our minds are. It's a constant fight, and you're not the only one fighting it. Everybody is going through it. Everyone fights against procrastination, and that happens every day, I guess. But the people who tend to master it and tend to learn how to get ahead of it and get over themselves in this context are the people who are successful in life. The second thing you need to stop doing is panic learning. When something happens, your child's PTM or your boss is over for dinner or there's a business lunch, that is when this idea of, I wish I could have been a little more fluent in English. I wish I could have done more. And okay, let me try it today. How about I do something about it today and learn a few sentences or a few words so that I sound a little more classy or make an impression on the guests that are arriving? Most of the times, what I have seen people making a mistake in is that they wait for things to happen for them to be reminded that this was a goal in their head. They had to learn, they had to practice to speak English so that they could get fluent. But learning doesn't happen that way. Learning is a continuous process. You cannot keep taking pauses. If you pause, you are pushed behind and you lose months of practice. The moment you get out of touch, you cannot pause your practice. It cannot be sporadic. It cannot be panic driven. Learning has to be a continuous process. And this is a major mistake. Something comes up today and you're suddenly reminded and you're back to your books and you're back to your TV shows or whatever you're learning from. You're back to the videos that you watch for learning. Or maybe you stand in front of the mirror and you start to practice. But the moment that event is over, you're back to your normal life. Things are back for you. The normal mundane stuff is back to you. And you forget that you had started on a journey. This is a very big mistake that is stopping you from your fluency. Now, let me tell you why that doesn't work. Learning English only when you are in a panic is like trying to build a rescue raft. during a flood. Raft is a small boat, okay? You're trying to build a boat when there is a flood. It's chaotic, it's stressful. And of course it will sink because you haven't put in the kind of effort there should have been, or there must have been, in making that raft, in making that boat, must have gone into it. You haven't done a very honest job. So it is destined to sink, it is destined to fail. You have to build the raft on the sunny days, piece by piece, so that when the storm comes, you're ready to sail. As Benjamin Franklin said, by failing to prepare, you're preparing to fail. Don't wait for the emergency. Prepare in the calm. The next mistake that I'm going to be talking about is trying to learn to do the things in new and modern ways. I am an old school person. My thought process in a lot of ways is old school, and my learning style is also highly old school, and I take pride in it. Old school ways have proven, in this particular specific case, they've proven to work. Do it the old school way, the way I've done it. I'll tell you my case, how it happened for me. See, it was simple. I think I've told you several times, but I'll just quickly reiterate. My school was changed, and in class 7th I was moved to a very, very good school of my city, and that's where my journey to get fluent started. And what happened was that everybody around me used to speak really fluent English, and I was the only person who was very aware, conscious of herself, and unprepared, and lacking confidence, and always very scared of uttering even a single word. And there were instances where I was mocked at. There were people who laughed at me, and those things don't matter to me anymore, but they used to matter back then. My style was really old school. I made up my mind that I'm going to learn this language because I saw potential in it. First of all, it attracted me a lot. It looked nice to me. It was something that fascinated me. It was something that I wanted to do. I wasn't pushed into it. Of course, had I not developed a flavor for it, I would have still tried to learn it because I understood the need of the hour. I knew that this is the future and you have to learn it sooner or later. The sooner you do it, the better it is for you. So that's how I made up my mind, and I started to put in small efforts every day. I would genuinely try and speak everything that I had to say. My entire school hours, I would say it in English. It was difficult, of course, but I understood that I could see gradual changes in me, in my learning, and I could see that it's working. Something in me is changing. My confidence is gradually going up. My hesitation is gradually coming down. As my practice is increasing, my hesitation is coming down. I realized that as a little kid, because anyway, we did not have many distractions back then. We did not have phones, of course, and we did not have access to any distraction. We were very simple kids, pick up the bags and go to school and study and come back home and sleep for 2 hours and get up and sit with their books again and have evening chai and get back to books and then sleep. This was my life back then. So I realized that it's improving. Whatever, in any way where I was feeling a little low and down with the language skills, that is changing. I just did it in the most old school way. I would learn it from books. I would learn it by speaking to my friends. I would learn it by talking to my teachers, whatever little bit I could, asking the basic questions in class, raising hand and asking questions. These little things were really helping. What's the secret? It's not glamorous. It's old school. It's what I did, and it's what truly works. Fluency isn't a lottery ticket you win. It's a wall you build. Every day you lay one brick. One new word is a brick. One sentence you practice is a brick. One conversation is a brick. On its own, it's just one small brick. But you look back after a year and you've built a fortress. That's the power of learning the old school way. See, I'm not discouraging you to use the modern ways. I know there are fancy apps available, but the old school way of actually speaking the language, and sometimes speaking to yourself in front of the mirror, or sometimes speaking to a friend on the phone, these things have the most impact. And modern ways are fine, but just don't get too distracted with the too many options that are available on the internet these days. I want you to choose your 3-4 ways in which you're going to practice and adopt those ways every week in your learning cycle. Remember this quote from Aristotle: "We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit." Build the habit. Point number 4 on the list is use the easiest tools. Let's first start by talking about your mind, which is a major blockage. It's a barrier that's stopping you from moving ahead, from proceeding on this journey. It is your mind. It is the lies that you tell yourself every day. It's difficult. Lie. I can't do it. Lie. I can't find anybody whom to speak with. Lie. People are going to laugh at me. Lie. People are going to notice me. Absolute lie. They're all distracted these days. Everything is a lie. Everything that you're telling yourself. So let's start by talking about your mind. Your mind is like fertile ground. The belief I can do it is the seed. You must plant that seed first before anything can grow from that soil. Tell yourself, my brain is capable of learning this new language. If anybody can do it, I can do it. What's the big deal? Now, next thing that you have to do is you have to find a mirror. Do you have a mirror at your home? I'm sure you do. The mirror is your private stage. You have to perform in front of the mirror before you perform in front of others. Believe me, if you can, this is something that I have done, I am doing, and I plan on doing in the future also. There is a mirror right here. I'm not going to show it to you. It's too much equipment. I'm not moving it. But it's right here, and I speak to this mirror very often. Sometimes I'm sad, I speak to it. I like speaking to myself. Private little thing I'll tell you. I have my best friend in me. I rely on her. And she's awesome. She shows up whenever I need. So yes, I talk to her. And when I want to practice, or maybe I have something coming up, maybe I have a presentation to give, or I have an interview. I do not appear for interviews anymore. But back then when I used to, I would practice in front of the mirror. It really helped. You have your phone. You can use your phone. Start using your phone. Record yourself speaking a few sentences. See where you're hesitating. What is causing problem? What is making you go, my name is, see where you're breaking the sentence, where you're making these unnecessary pauses. And it's no harm if you are doing it right now, no problem. All you have to do is you have to work on improving it. That's your next task. Your next task is not to say the perfect sentence. Your next task is to practice to speak better. Okay? Improvement. You're not going to get there in one day. It will take you time. Be patient with yourself. Okay? Before you expect the person in the mirror to become your best friend, you become his or her best friend. So as I said, your mirror is your private stage. There's no audience, no judgment. It's where the actor rehearses their lines before the big show. Many people do that. Speak to it every day. Focus on forming sentences and not being perfect. You just have to form sentences, okay? And then you take it to the world. Think of it like a video game, okay? Asking for directions, okay? When you do it to somebody, some person standing on the road. When you ask for directions, that is level 1 of the video game. Giving a simple compliment, hey, you look pretty today. That is level 2. Ordering coffee is level 3 because that will require more from you to speak, of course. Each tiny interaction gives you experience points and builds your confidence, okay? So this video game you're playing with yourself, there are experience points. Now I'll tell you about a very, very good technique that is widely popular. Many people use it. If you hadn't heard of it, now is the time you learn. So you learn it with the help of TV shows, and it is called mirroring technique. Now, mirroring technique is not specific to TV shows. It can be applied anywhere. It could be applied to podcast. It could be applied to anything. Anywhere where somebody is talking, it can be applied there, and where you can pause. So if I am talking to you on the camera, you can pause me, but when I'm talking to you in person, you can't pause me. So that is not where you can mirror me. All right, I'll teach you how to do it. So this is how a child also learns to speak, okay? By copying their parents or people around them. That's how they learn. And this is what mirroring technique is. You've been doing it since you were a child, so you've already done it. You know the trick. I'm just gonna repeat it for you so that it comes back to you. You're just tapping into the most natural language system in the world. Pause, repeat, and mimic. That's where the key is. So when you're watching a TV show, pause it, repeat the sentence the character has said. And you don't just speak the words, all right? You have to say it in the same way. You practice with expression. The intonation has to be correct so that you're not just learning because I feel that learning will be better if you speak with expression, because then you will not just gain vocabulary, you will also gain expression, you will gain confidence. It will be easier for you to use those words that you've practiced in sentences, because it won't be the first time you'll be saying them in a certain way. You have already practiced. So watch short clips, pause, repeat the lines exactly as you hear them, mimicking the pronunciation. Of course, pronunciation is really important, and also the intonation, how your voice is going up and down, the modulation of your voice. That is what I mean by intonation. Next on the tools list could be solving exercises. Now I know you may think that, ma'am, nobody does it these days. It's not true. You will never find out if somebody is doing it, first of all. Understand. Most of the people are not too big on sharing. They won't tell you what they are doing, right, in their personal space. And it's okay. It's fair of them to do that, because you also do not share everything about yourself with others, right? So exercises, solving is something that I feel people really do, and especially kids do it. And again, I told you, right, do it the old school way. This is the old school way. There are beginner workbooks, and there are free online puzzles. There are free quizzes for grammar and vocabulary. Take up those quizzes. I have a very good workbook in my own English language course. That workbook is entirely handwritten by me. There are more than 300 questions, and they're really amazing. This is just one mention. There are thousands of other options available. Take up whatever you want to. Taking up a course actually helps if you need structure. Okay, if you want to learn it in a proper step-by-step manner, then taking up a course is also good. There are free online courses. I just mentioned my own course if you want to. Okay, but there are several such resources that are available on platforms like Udemy and Coursera. So what you have to do is you have to bring learning to the forefront. Okay, it should not be something sitting somewhere in the back in your car's dicky. No, it has to be something that is in front of your eyes. You're reminded of it every now and then in your day. It's a non-negotiable part of your day. So do it every single day. Do not skip practice. It's about using what you have. As the great Arthur Ashe said, start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. So my point number 5 for you, if you are stuck on the question, where do I start? There is an automatic follow-up question. How long will it take? I'm sure it is somewhere lingering in your head. If I start today, how long will it take for me to get fluent in English? I have the answer for you. First of all, some improvement, little bit, will happen really fast. It's just like a gym. Most people, when they start to gym, they see some change in their body really quickly, like in the first week or 10 days. And they suddenly see a little pumping in their muscles and a little bit of waist shrinking, little bit of clothes, loosening. It happens. It's fast in the beginning. You learn new words and basic phrases really quickly. Okay, it happens for everybody. Now this initial boost is exciting. It will excite you. It will be really nice and you'll feel happy. But then the plateau comes. Now what do I mean by plateau? I have been hitting the gym for over 5-6 years now, and I can tell you, I have tried a lot. It's just impossible to reduce weight these days. I lost a few kgs, and then I started to build muscle, and now my fat is getting replaced by my muscles, so there is no change on the weighing scale. So if I'm depending on the motivation of seeing a lower number on the weighing scale, I am in for trouble. So I don't depend on that number at all. My only focus is to look good and to feel confident and to see that my clothes are fitting me well and I look nice in whatever I wear. So this is what the plateau means, when you are stuck on a number and the number of your weighing scale, your body weight is not going down any further. That's where the plateau is hit. And you continue to work out for 3 months, 4 months, and number is not changing. It happens with a lot of people, Life takes over, and that will happen to you also sometimes when you're learning to speak English. Okay, life takes over. There will be a plateau you might hit, and the progress will feel very slow, and you might feel a little demotivated sometimes. Now, this is the moment most people quit, but this isn't where progress stops. It's where the real training begins. You need reminders at this point. Okay, you need to set daily phone reminders or visual cues for your English practice. Maybe buy a nice pillowcase that says practice or learn English, or I don't know, maybe carve yourself or paint something yourself, just a visual cue. You have to practice today. Write it on a white pillow cover and put it on your bed somewhere so that you see every time you enter the room, okay, I have to practice. It's a cue that you're giving to yourself. You need reminders at that moment. You've been doing it. I know progress was nice initially. Now you feel a little underwhelmed. Like, okay, not much is happening. I'm not learning too fast. I don't know what is going wrong. Am I doing something wrong? No, the real improvement is about to happen now, because the initial phase is over. The phase where most people quit is already over, but you haven't quit. You've gone on with your practice. Only the one who makes it a goal will be able to do it, because it's challenging for mind to learn a new language. It's not easy. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. What is a marathon? What is a sprint? I'll tell you. So in about 5 to 6 months, you should start noticing significant changes in your confidence. And in about a couple of years, I believe you can get fluent. Really, reaching conversational fluency can take a couple of years, but you will be communicating effectively much sooner. So you don't have to wait for a couple of years for that to happen. You will be communicating, maybe not so fluently, in just about a few months if you continue with your practice. So that is your answer. How long does it take? This is how long it takes. Okay. You must remember, learning a language is a marathon. It's not a sprint. I keep repeating it. So a sprint is a short distance race run at a maximum speed, an explosive speed, and the goal is to finish as fast as possible. Okay, first, second, third. A marathon, on the other hand, is a long distance race requiring endurance. The goal is to pace yourself. Okay, relax and run so that you finish the race. It's important to finish a marathon. The position doesn't matter there. Okay, you need to pace yourself and you manage your energy to successfully complete the entire distance. That is what a marathon is. Okay, there is no race in a marathon. It is a community thing. You run together with people. Okay, the finish line isn't for the fastest runner here. It's for the one who keeps putting one foot in front of the other. That is why learning English is a marathon. Even when they are tired, they put one foot ahead of the other. Last point on my list is to how to maintain. So these are all the pertinent questions for a new learner if you're starting now. How do I maintain? If I started, I gained some momentum, I'm doing fine. How do I ensure that whatever I'm learning stays with me and I don't forget after a while? Understand, it's a language, and for a language, the only key is to keep it in your active use. Like, there are two types of vocabularies. There is passive vocabulary, there is active vocabulary. Passive vocabulary are the words that if you're spoken to, if those words are spoken in front of you, you will be able to get them. You'll be able to understand what they mean, but you don't actively use them in your day-to-day language. Active vocabulary is the words that you use usually. Okay, these are words that are there always on your tongue, always ready to come out. Okay, and as you practice to speak better words or advanced level words, your active vocabulary keeps increasing, it improves. Words from your passive vocabulary get shifted to your active vocabulary. This is a process. I share a little thing with you. I'm making a vocabulary course right now on English language. It's a beautiful course, but it's still not complete. I'm planning on launching it in the next month or so. I haven't started to shoot the videos yet. But what I am seeing as a difference in my own skill, English language skill, is that I'm starting to use better words. My husband keeps pointing out to me, see, you're using better words. Oh, it's coming out. Oh, your active vocabulary is improving. I have myself seen a difference. It has only happened because making that course, I was practicing to write. I was writing those words and I was following this pedagogy approach where I was repeating the words in the later lectures because I wanted you to remember the words. So there was a repetition, and because of which I was able to recall and remember those words longer, and I was using those words in my day-to-day life. So that's how it happens. The more you are active with the usage of the language, the better you will get at it, the more improvement you will see, and the quicker it is all going to be. Okay? Do not let your skills get rusty. Just keep using the language. Continue to use it every day, and believe me, you will never get out of touch. You will never forget anything that you learn. And of course, reading will help you a lot. If you read, a lot of things you learn from there. And for me, not just reading, TV shows help me a lot. I only watch English shows. I just finished watching Ginny and Georgia. Awesome show. Really enjoyed it. But I generally watch English shows because I want to improve my English communication skills. And this really helps me. It feels like I'm not just enjoying myself, I'm also improving in a very important skill that's so important to my career, because this is what I do, right? Think of your English skill as a finely sharpened knife. When you first learn it, it's sharp and can cut through any conversation. But if you put that knife in a drawer and never use it, it will grow dull. It will get rusty, right? Reading, listening, speaking, these are your sharpening stones. You don't need to sharpen it for hours, but you must hone it every single day for active use. Okay, incorporate the use of these 3 things I just talked about into your daily life. Read the news in English, think in English, and there's so much more that you can do. Develop love with the language. Okay, develop fondness for it. The more you enjoy it, the better your experience of learning is going to be. So that's all for this video. I have tried to answer to this question, where do I start? And anything that goes on in the head of a person who's just starting to learn English or to get fluent in the language. So that's all about it. Thank you very much. I'll see you in my next one. I hope you follow everything that I taught you in this video. If you find this video helpful, do remember to share it with somebody you care about, a person who's been practicing with you or without you, is your friend, wants to learn English. Share this video with them. Okay, thank you very much. Give it a like if you found it helpful. This is the best way you can support my channel. Thank you. Bye-bye.